What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Turf Talk. Today, we are going over the Miami Dolphins and their offseason, the future of the team, and pretty much expectations. We'll be going over the draft as well. I'm your host, Richard Donahue, and today I want to start off with Jalen Ramsey because now it is June 2nd. We are past the June 1st mark where we expected him to be traded. Realistically, I see him being traded to either the Los Angeles Rams, a contender like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somewhere warm, probably somewhere that he doesn't get taxed, like a Florida team. I could see the Buccaneers is a really good fit for him. I could see a reunion back in LA, or maybe he goes to LA and he goes to the Chargers. That's a possibility as well. Jalen Ramsey I think he's a four-time All-Pro. He's an absolute dog. Really good player. So it's going to suck to lose him, especially when we lost Kyle Fuller too this year. But the problem that we are going to have is we don't have corners. That is one thing that we did not address in the draft. I will get more into the corners and what we have because we have Storm Duck, we have Cam Smith. I don't know if those are really guys that you want starting for you. We do have Kader Kohu, so I mean he flourishes in the slot, but maybe they want to bump him to the outside. When we have seen that in the past, it wasn't the best, but I'm not a general manager. So I'm not going to knock any general manager moves. 8 years in this system, Chris Greer has really cemented his legacy, which is 0 playoff wins. But, I'm not going to doubt the guy. I'm believing in the process. So another player that might get traded is Jonnu Smith. So the problem with Jonnu Smith is he wants a new contract. I think he said he wanted a 3 or 4 year extension. Realistically, this regime, they're not doing that. They are in a win now mode, and they probably won't give him a new contract. I did see people flirt with the idea of us getting Kyle Pitts and sending him back to Atlanta. I would love that. I think Kyle Pitts is a dog. He's still 24 or 25. He's a very young player. He entered the draft at 20. So, I mean, you look at him, he was very young. Amazing on the Florida Gators, made Kyle Trask look good, and he got drafted in the second round because of Kyle Pitts. Have you heard Kyle Trask's name at all in the NFL? No, you haven't. Other than him being Brady's backup, he hasn't done anything. Realistically, I think Kyle Pitts could be a very, very good player in the Dolphins scheme. We've seen what Jonnu Smith did in the Dolphins scheme, and I think Kyle Pitts is a younger, better version. We would probably send Jonnu Smith and like a 4th rounder for Kyle Pitts, which honestly, if I'm Atlanta, he hasn't produced in Atlanta that much. He had a 1,000-yard season his rookie year with 1 touchdown. Since then, he's had slowly worse seasons. Last season, he was pretty decent towards the middle and end of the year, so maybe they want to hold on and give him a contract. I'm not sure. Once again, I'm not the general manager, but I would love to see Kyle Pitts in the Dolphins uniform just to add him to the tight end core that we have had from Gesicki to Jonnu Smith, now finally to Kyle Pitts. This would be great. Honestly, I see him flourishing in this system. Tua expectations. I mean, where can we really begin? He hasn't really had a fair shot until McDaniels came in. McDaniel came in. He has looked great all 3 years. His main problem has been his health and just playing regular football. Don't play hero ball. He plays very risky, and that's when he gets injured. You don't need to go and dive head first at DeMar Hamlin. I mean, that concussion was very preventable. Just slide. He tries to put the game in his hands. He's like, okay, I slimmed down a little bit. I can move around more. Don't move. Just keep your good pocket presence, stay in the pocket, and play your game. That is what I want for Tua Tagovailoa. I expect from him a full 17 games, as you should from any starting quarterback in the NFL. And it's sad that I don't expect that, but this is my expectations for this year. I also expect him to have over 4,000 yards, as that's kind of a threshold for most NFL quarterbacks, especially where he's rated. For me, at least, I have him around 10. Realistically, he moves up in that ranking if he can stay healthy, but it's very hard for me to put him like even in the top 10, especially when he played 11 games last year. I expect over 30 touchdowns. I think he's done that in 2023 and 2024, or maybe just 2024, but he has had great touchdown seasons, low interceptions, like under 10. and a completion percentage of over 70. And he's shown that he can do all of that. My main thing with him is I expect him to take a step forward. We paid him all this big money. Now let's see what he can do in November, in December, in January, maybe even February. We need to see what he can do later. I want to see, I know personally, but I want him to break the narratives that he can't play in the cold. I mean, look at the game in Buffalo last year. I think he had 2 or 3 incompletions. Like, the guy went 22 for 25. Ridiculous game. 250 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. You don't lose a game like that. But, the defense did lose the game. And then Tyler Bass hits a 61-yard field goal. So, I mean, that's just the life of a Dolphins fan. I chose that life, even though I live in Buffalo. So, yeah, I definitely expect Tua Tagovailoa to stay healthy, take a step forward, and ideally win a playoff game. I mean, even going to the playoffs, I understand losing to the Chiefs in that cold weather, 3rd coldest game in NFL history. I expect Tua to win a playoff game. We paid him all this big money. This is money that he makes more money than Josh Allen. He makes more money than Lamar Jackson. He makes more money than guys like Aaron Rodgers did. He makes more money than Patrick Mahomes. Okay, these are all players he makes way more money than. And he's one of the top players in the league when it comes to this. So why do we pay him all this money if he can't get us to the promised land, or at least to win a playoff game, or to play good that deep in the season? Realistically, that's what he needs to do. It's not what he should do. It's what he needs to do. I have Mike McDaniel expectations very high as well. I've seen what he can do, and I've seen him have the best offense in the NFL. And it's not a coincidence that Tua was completely healthy the entire season. That's another thing. We need him to play, and we need him to play smart. We need him to be healthy. We need Tua to stay on the field. Mike McDaniel, he needs to have at least 10 wins, like minimum. We haven't had a losing season until last year, since before Brian Flores. Flores went 10-6 and 9-8, and those were with awful offenses and decent defenses that he played up. Then we go and we win 11 games with McDaniel, and I think we went 9-8 again when Tua was hurt the first year in 2023. Last year we go 8-9 and lost to the Jets. Luckily, Tua hasn't played, and Tua is undefeated against the Jets and the Patriots. So, I mean, if he's healthy, you could chalk that up for 4 wins right there. I'm not believing in all this Patriots hype. You need to believe in a Drake May who's coming into year 2. You have no idea how he's going to play. Just because he showed flashes in year 1, you think he's just going to become a top 10 quarterback? I've seen people mocking them at like 10, 11 wins. That's not happening. I could see 9 max. Like, that's their ceiling for me. Again, you could just call me a biased fan, but that's not what I see at all. And I'm pretty good at predicting records. If I look back at last year's, I think I predicted it exactly. I said 4-13. I'm not sure. But, that's just how the cookie crumbles. The Patriots with Mike Vrabel, who knows? It's a new regime. I don't know if they switch general managers or not. They didn't really give Gerard Mayo a chance, but honestly, I'm not giving Gerard Mayo a chance either if I could get Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel, fun fact about Mike Vrabel too, 10 touchdowns and 10 receptions. He played linebacker, so they just put him in that goal line. Love that. Love that stat. Chris Greer's draft. Now let's go back to the draft because I haven't been on since the draft, okay? I know Landon was live streaming the draft. I cannot join, and we have been on a little break, but wow, Chris Greer. When I hate on this guy, how can I? This guy attacks the trenches and does exactly what we want. Then he picks up a guy in the 6th round like Ali Gordon. He can get significant playing time for us. He might even beat out Jaylen Warren. We don't know. But you know what? I'm very happy with this draft. First off, Kenneth Grant. Oh my, what a pickup. I love Kenneth Grant. I was mocking him middle to late 1st round. I mean, I would almost say that he played as good as Mason Graham, just not as technician. He doesn't have all the technique. But, dude, Mason Graham took all of the star power. People were really sleeping on Kenneth Grant. You look at what Kenneth Grant has done at OTAs, he looks great. He looks mobile. He looks huge. He looks, we know he's going to be a great run stopper. And he looks like he can really rush the passer, too. I want to see him versus Jonah Sawayanea. I have a hard time saying his name. I'm just going to call him Jonah. The guard that we got in the second round, absolute stud pickup. Me and Dougley Durong both wanted that guy really, really bad, and we ended up getting him. We traded up to get him. He was our guy, and that's what I want to see from this front office. I want to see that's our guy. We're going to go get him, just like what we did with Teron Armstead. That's what we did with Tyreek Hill, and these are things that we need to do, especially in the draft. Love those pickups. The other one that I really liked was Ollie Gordon. Oh my gosh, this guy is an animal. If you haven't seen his film, you need to check it out right now. Ollie Gordon, absolute masterpiece, dude. I mean, we knew that this running back class was deep, but the fact that you could get an Ollie Gordon in the 6th round, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Perfect scenario for us. Perfect scenario. We also got Quinn Ewers in the 7th round. I mean, where do I even begin with this? I mean, Quinn Ewers, we're still basing him off of his high school hype, but if you check out those highlights, everyone thought Quinn Ewers was a top 10 pick going into his, I don't know, it wasn't his senior year. Going into this last year, everyone thought he was a top 10 pick. This reminds me of Spencer Rattler, kind of, where if you remember at, not Oklahoma. I forget the school. I'm sorry. USC. If you remember there, Spencer Rattler was the dude. He was the number 1 overall projected pick. Then what happens is Caleb Williams, he goes to the same school. The fans get rowdy. Rattler has one bad game, and they're already calling for Caleb Williams to start. Then, obviously, Caleb Williams does what Caleb Williams does. It's not his fault. Caleb Williams is a generational talent coming out of the draft. Rattler just got a bad hand. I think he ended up going to North Carolina. Same thing with Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers has a good year in 2024. Very good year in 2024. And has basically the same year in 2023, 2024. He basically has the same year that he did in his sophomore season in his junior year. So explain to me, just because of the Manning hype, and honestly, all credit to Manning, he is going to be an absolute dog. I think he's going to be a better prospect than Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be a better prospect than Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Joe Burrow, all of these guys, okay? I believe in the hype fully, and I'm ready to watch him this year. I'm very excited. But this doesn't mean that Quinn Ewers is just a bad quarterback just because he has Arch Manning. A. Manning, the quarterback legacy, as his backup. Are you kidding me? You can't do that. You can't do that at all. I want to see what he does in preseason, and I will bank what I believe off of him off of that. And then obviously if Tua gets hurt, hopefully we won't see him play, but we will see him play if Tua gets hurt. And, I mean, maybe he's our franchise guy. You never know. Yeah. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, and he's a franchise guy. Tom Brady in the 6, he's a franchise guy. These are players that, they didn't care about the draft. They didn't care where they got drafted. Quinn Ewers, his agent said he was a 3rd or 4th round player that teams just passed up on. I don't really know about that, but I would say 4th to 6th round. I would say that the fact that we got him in the 7th is kind of crazy. Another thing I would say is I think we should have gotten Shedeur Sanders. If you had the opportunity in the 4th and the 5th to get Shedeur Sanders, why not get him? He flourishes in an offense where he just has to be accurate. Are you kidding me? Who does that sound like? Mike McDaniel. That would be a perfect situation, but unfortunately, they probably just didn't want to stress out Tua by getting in such a, the media coverage that Shedeur Sanders is going to bring in. Of course, that they wouldn't want to do that in their last year. But, kind of the situation that the Giants are in. I would say that this is their last year. So if they have a bad season and Dart is left without the GM and the head coach that drafted him, well, how's his development going to end up? We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But that is all I wanted to talk about today. A quick 15-minute video. I wanted to bring to your guys' attention the Turf Talk Summer Spectacle. This is a thing that we've had in the works a little bit. It is basically just going to be a summer where every week we're going to put out a very, very good, hardly edited not hardly edited, but edited hardly, like very hard, very intense. We're going to really put a lot of effort into this, and hopefully we can get some pickleball stuff going. We can go and get a lot of summer OTA stuff. And then we're also going to be going to a couple NFL games this year. Additionally, we're going to be checking out the new stadium. There's a lot of stuff that we are going to do. So make sure to subscribe, comment, and like the video. And subscribe because you're not going to want to miss this for sure. 100% you're going to love all the content that we do. And if you don't, let us know in the comments because we appreciate honest feedback as well. My name is Richard Donahue. I appreciate all of you who watch this video. Fins up, Bills down, and be on the lookout for Olandis Gary coming out soon. Okay? Olandis Gary episode soon.